And welcome to Uprising 144K. I'm Hydrogen Man. All right, guys, I literally just got back from a trip. I took my Hydrofix, and I'm literally just gonna set it up again here. And a lot of times people want to see how it gets set up, and you can see it live. You can actually ask a few questions, but I doubt anybody will be here right now because I just kind of did this on a whim. But it's pretty easy, in my opinion. I should say, I'm not going to give you guys any medical advice today. I'm not going to make any medical claims. And everything I'm going to say in this video today, guys, are the opinions of the speaker and should not be construed as claims for or against any product or product. Okay, that's pretty easy. All right, so I'm going to put it where I want, right around right there. And then, first thing I'm actually going to do, I don't even need to plug it in yet. I got to get water in there. And somehow, I don't have my measuring cup. That's wild. Sometimes I just kind of, you shouldn't eyeball it, but I have so much experience with this that I can oftentimes eyeball it. But I have this little cup. Let me go ahead and grab some water. So I'm going to add 100 cc's because it's completely dry. To confirm that it's dry, there's no water in the tray area. So I'm going to put 50. I'm going to grab another 50. And you absolutely want to make sure that you get it right into the cartridge and nowhere else. Because if it spills around there, it can damage. You don't want to get it into certain electronics. And that's it. That was that easy. Now, I'm going to pour my carbon distilled water. Why carbon distilled water? Well, because I'm really into drinking the cleanest water in the world. You know, while you're out traveling, that was tough. I gotta say that, you know, eating so many foods that I didn't want to eat, drinking water that I didn't necessarily want to drink. But, you know, I made an exception. I just decided to have fun with it and eat whatever. And believe it or not, I actually gained weight. And a lot of people don't believe this, but man, I can gain weight very easily. Probably like a lot of people. It's very easy to gain weight, especially when you're eating a lot of cheese and bread, and didn't eat a lot of sugar, but sugar, that kind of stuff, a lot of meat. Okay, let's see here. That's 4. Let's plug in the power. Oh, you know what? Maybe over here is better. Well, that's how easy it is. I love how they make these machines so easy to use. There we go. Fired up. And I tell you, I love this new unit. I mean, they just keep on making them better and better. And I think on this one, they really, truly have just perfected it. There's nothing more that I think they could improve. I mean, there's a reason that it's the best hydrogen machine in the world, and they're light years ahead of everybody. So that's that. Oh, here's what I was looking for. Got a bunch of stuff for the machine. Okay. All right, well, now that the water's going, what's next? What do we got in store, Johnny? All right. Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making my breakfast. I actually already started. I didn't show it on camera, but I could show you guys. Here's my carbon distiller. I got that immediately going because I went through all my water almost. I have very, very little water because I haven't been making it because I've been gone. And it's been getting used. But at this point, now it's time to make my smoothie. And I'll tell you, I am absolutely been waiting to have some smoothie. It just makes you feel so good. You know, absorption of a lot of nutrients, minerals, proteins, vitamins. I mean, just everything. I mean, some people say I should call it the everything smoothie. And I gotta say, it really does make a difference. I mean, it is massive difference. And I'm gonna show you how we get all the nutrients in it because that is tricky. So let me grab the stuff. Hold on. I say it's tricky because, you know, it is very hard to get all your nutrients from just food. Now, the biggest nutrient thing here that really brings it all together, and oh, thanks for the thumbs up. So somebody did that. Okay, the biggest thing is actually this right here. This is really the secret or the trick, is this powder. It's called Power Shake. So many of those powders out there are just trash. I've researched them. This one's all food. Everything in this thing is food, and it's organic food that is, I mean, there's a lot of people claim organic. I've seen the lab tests. There's still some residue of pesticides, which is kind of normal. This one's zero residue. I'm so impressed by this company. I'll try to put a link down below later, but it's called ishoppurium.com. That's the website. And that's Purium, P-U-R-I-U-M as in Mary. Okay, so then I first take one scoop, and then I'll grab another scoop. So I put 2 of them in the smoothie. And because when you combine these nutrients with all the fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and everything I'm going to put in here, it actually helps, all those fibers help absorb the nutrients. I have a extremely high nutrient absorption to the level that even my doctor says they didn't literally believe it was possible. And they saw the blood work and they're like, well, you know, the only problem is, at least the doctor who was interested in contacting me in regards to nutrient absorption, they just think, well, most of their patients, they don't believe will actually try to make such smoothies. They're like, oh, they were hoping it was some type of pill I was taking. That's okay, go for it. And I was like, no such luck for you guys. I wish it was as easy as a pill, but anyway, here we go. Turmeric, 100% organic turmeric powder. That's all it is. For some reason, I don't know why the powder is way cheaper than buying the actual turmeric. And believe me, I would like to buy the raw turmeric, but it's so expensive. And I always try to make my smoothies, because I drink them every single day for breakfast, I try to make them affordable. So that just wouldn't have been affordable. All right, what's next? Now this one you don't have to do, I mean, you don't even have to do the turmeric. The Purium powder is the one. In fact, if you want a discount code on that one, it's Uprising 144K. But this one, this is just raw cacao. It's just basically chocolate, cacao, whatever. No milk, no sugar, none of that garbage in it. It's just the raw material. And there's so many health benefits to it. And I found these giant organic bags really inexpensively. So I'm like, hey, I'll just throw it in there. And again, thanks for all the thumbs up, guys. It really helps the channel and the algorithm, so people can actually find this stuff. Now this one you don't have to put in either. These are ground up apricot seeds. There has been research, I have read it actually, in regards to how they have an anti-cancer effect. And I have some of this, so I thought, hey, I'm gonna use it. Not absolute necessity. If you're worried about cancer running in your family or anything like that, I would totally put this. In fact, this is from rncstore.com. And the discount code is Uprising144K also. And oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Somebody gave one. It's free and easy, guys. Why not? You know what? If you guys appreciate what I share with you guys, and if you don't, then I understand. But honestly, I just do this really to help you guys out there, because I'm gonna do it anyway. I mean, I'm gonna make my smoothie anyway. Let's get some flax seeds. Let's get those next. Probably gonna make some more hydrogen chia seeds too, because I'm out of everything. Okay, flax seeds are another thing that have been found to be anti-cancerous. You can read the research on it. It's impressive. Plus they have really good omegas, so proteins, fats, a lot of good properties actually to flax seeds. Of course, they're organic, and I'll put some of those in there. I like to put them at the beginning. Notice I put all the powders at the beginning, because the order in which I do all this, I have found matters, because I've been doing this for a long time. So that right there is important, so that it all mixes really nicely. What's next? Okay, the next one's gonna be, we're gonna go with greens. Better move some of this stuff. I still haven't done all the dishes. I did take a lot of things with me. Let's grab the greens. Wow. It also looks like it's time to go grocery shopping. Okay, today we're going to use a different type of greens. Richard says hello. Cece says, hi Greg. Just out of curiosity, do you know if hydrogen can help with brain tumors? You know what, in my opinion, yes. I worked with a lady, well, yes, in my opinion, but also I would say, okay, I'll tell you a really quick story about a woman who did have a brain tumor, a very large brain tumor. Her doctors told her that it was about the size of a softball. And her doctors told her that it was impossible to basically make it even shrink. They said that the best thing they could do for her, this is terrible by the way, but they said the best thing they could do for her is, you know, hey, we got to poison you, which I understand that's their treatment, in order to just keep it from growing. It was already pushing on the brain big time. She couldn't walk. Half of her body was all, couldn't move or anything. Poor girl. I mean, an older woman. And so they just had no solutions for her. Somebody knew somebody who knew me. And I mean, I did way too much probably. I hate to say that, but I did probably do too much because they asked me to help. I did it, obviously, I did it for free. I went over there, little ways away to help them because it's just for me, it was such a sad story. And she actually didn't just do the hydrogen, which that was obviously a really important piece of it, but she did my full protocol. Now, she did my full protocol, and to the surprise of the doctors, and honestly, to my surprise too, I mean, I know that my protocols work pretty good on most things. That was the first quote unquote person I'd worked with a brain tumor, and you know, we didn't know exactly if it was going to work or not, but the brain tumor shrunk, basically disappeared. I say it shrunk so much to the point where they couldn't see it. They were like, it looks like it's gone. And so that was pretty dramatic, but that was the whole protocol. And everybody in their family was like really worried about some of my techniques, but you know, they were quote unquote desperate. And the problem was, and this is what I tell people with cancer, and it really kind of bugs me because most people don't listen, and I've seen it kill people. I literally have seen that, and it's so sad, and I don't know why people don't listen, to be honest. Because at some point, I mean, I have a lot of experience. I you know, dare I say, know what I'm talking about. And what ended up happening was brain tumor disappeared. She was able to, the doctors were blown away. She was able to literally just start walking. She started walking like 1.5 miles a day. She had her life back. And it was so amazing. And then I told her, I said, look, do not stop doing the hydrogen. Do not stop the dietary protocol. Do not stop taking some of the different things that I'll just say that I personally would take myself. And actually I do. I was actually going to take some on camera today, but some of it you just can't show on YouTube. So it gets really tricky. There's a lot that I don't show you guys. You know, it's sad that we don't quote unquote have free speech, but I also understand, you know, the potential dangers, and you do have to know how to do these things and yada, 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 you know. But still think it's kind of a bunch of BS. But anyway, so I went through all that. She totally fell off the wagon, quit doing the protocol, quit using the hydrogen, quit doing everything. She was living it up for, I don't remember how long. It was months. She was doing really good. And then all of a sudden I get another call and they're like, oh my gosh, you know, it came back super fast. And I said, yeah, I kind of told you, because cancer, to me, cancer is something that you want to put your foot, you want to, let's just say you want to be aggressive and you don't ever want to stop being aggressive. Meaning, look at the way that I live my life. I literally try to eat healthy basically all the time. You know, I'm trying to prevent these type of things constantly. From coming back, or from, you know, me losing my health all over again. Now, I did have to go away for like a week. And if I would have been like really, really sick where I was before, yeah, I would have never gone. It would have just never happened. I mean, I couldn't walk anyway. What the heck? Where the heck was I going to go? So, you know, but once I had been building up myself, I'm like, okay, my health is strong enough. I can go ahead and go on a, you know, trip for a week or whatever. I kind of had the suspicion that I would, you know, that I would have what I call cheat days and stuff. And I did. And I enjoyed a lot of it, quote unquote. You know, you know what's crazy about it is if I stay away from it, I'm fine. It's kind of like an alcoholic. If you stay away from the alcohol and you don't drink, hopefully eventually you just get used to it and you're fine. And I'll tell you, when I got a taste of some of that food out there, I mean, it feels horrible. My body starts feeling very swollen. I think there's a lot of salt and everything, a lot of sugar and everything. And a lot of it tasted really good. You know, I noticed that they put cheese in everything, salt in everything, a lot of breads, stuff that I just don't buy. That's the other thing, I just don't buy it. Anyway, long story short, yes, I have seen good results, but the lady, like I said, not only did she fall off the wagon, you guys are not going to believe this. I couldn't believe this. They need to get back on the protocol, and it's not that expensive. And the husband was like, I'm not paying for that stuff anymore. And I was like, wow, okay. Like, you know, certain products and things that she needed that were not that expensive. He's like, nope, I'm not going to buy that stuff anymore. And they didn't, and she died. In fact, the cancer came back so fast because when you don't stick to the program, you know, cancer, depending on which one you have, some are aggressive, some are more aggressive than others, but I'll tell you, it is nasty, nasty stuff. And I personally, I hate it. I hate to even say that, but I do. I just absolutely hate cancer with a vengeance. I just really dislike it. To the point where personally, I think it's something that should be prevented. You know, Richard says, do you know what could help for food intolerances like histamine and fructose intolerance? Yeah, in my opinion, I mean, you have to, okay, it all starts with the gut. So it really starts with your gut and specific bacteria in the gut. And, you know, the body needs to go through some almost like growing pains. The first thing I would definitely start with is super clean water. I mean, you got to have clean water. There's so much stuff in your water that messes with your system. I don't think people understand. And people like, well, but I have an RO system, or, oh, I have a water filter, whatever. People say it all the time. Honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. This is terrible to say, but I mean, it's just being honest. At some point, it gets kind of frustrating, you know, because you're trying to help people and they never really walk the walk, you know, and sometimes you have to walk the walk for a while before the changes really happen. They just, you know, but all I could tell you is that's where I would start personally. And then I would, without a shadow of a doubt, do the hydrogen, because the clean water won't be enough, in my opinion. It's the hydrogen that's going to be the helper. The clean water is just you trying to prevent things, not necessarily, dare I say, heal them, but you have to prevent, you know, the stuff that is happening to you that you don't know where it's coming from. And then the hydrogen is the one that's really amazing for the gut. I would do like, I would have a really good hydrogen protocol that you follow very diligently. I mean, that's what I do. And it'll take time. You know, you have to be diligent. And then eventually, once it takes time, like for me, it took time. But once I got good, I mean, I was able to go and look, I went on a trip and ate all this stuff. You know, am I fine? I'm fine. You know, my body could tolerate it. What I'm saying is that you get really sensitive, because my body's become like my body is like I don't know, like the canary in the coal mine type of thing. Like I can just sense all sorts of stuff. You know, I become extremely sensitive, and you know, when you clean up the body, that's what I personally think happens. And so just the hydrogen and the clean water is where I would begin. And then of course, always eliminate garbage foods. And it'll take a while for the body to learn and grow quote unquote good bacteria. Personally, I think fiber is really important, but you have to definitely try to get off any type of pesticides as much as possible. Hence the reason hydrogen's good too, because it protects the body, or it appears to protect the body, you know, from a lot of things. So that's what I would do. Are you happy, satisfied with your health now, or currently striving for better health? Hold on a second. I am extremely happy with where my health is at. I mean, it took time, but if you even, I don't know, if you just understood where I was, it is a whole other world. So Richard says, how to clean it and what? Let's see. How to clean it and what have no 2,500 for the high-end thing. How to clean it. I don't know if I'm understanding what you're saying, but if you're talking about how to clean what, look, and this is really sad, but this is the sad truth. If you want to get better with your health and you can't afford the things that you need to get better, I hate to say it, but you're probably just not going to get better. I mean, I need that carbon distiller I have. I need it. Without it, I can't clean my water. That's all there is to it. You know? And it's sad to say, I'm not a miracle worker. I can't just touch somebody or pray for somebody and just have them magically heal. You know, these things for specific things, you know. Sorry, I mean, it's just a sad truth. I might be able to help with like some discounts or something. I can call, get codes, that kind of thing. But, you know, you need, I mean, everything that I do, I spent, guys, you guys have no idea. I used to save everything because all my life I've never really made that much money. And so I, you know, saved so much. And of course, when I got sick, I lost everything. I mean, I had very, very little left. I mean, I lost my house. I lost, I probably shouldn't go into detail what I lost. All these like investments and just all this stuff, you know, I lost a lot and I had very little left. And the reason I lost the rest of it is because I started spending money on trying to figure out how to fix my health and not be able to work. And I mean, I just burned through everything. And luckily, right at the end, I ended up finding the things that actually worked. And that's one of the reasons that I do these kind of videos, to show you guys what actually works, so you don't have to spend the ridiculous amounts of money that I did. I thought it would actually help people. You know, and I've talked to people who spent just crazy amounts of money, like this one lady who would spend like $180,000 in different treatments throughout many years, of course, and never fixed her. She did my protocol and it worked, and she's like, oh my gosh, it was so much cheaper and easier. It was crazy. Anyway, Cece says, oh wait, no, that's all the same stuff, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm gonna add a little bit of raisins to this today, not a lot. I don't want to make it too sweet, but they have boron, and I like boron in my food, of course. I'm just gonna put a little bit in there. Very little. Normally I have them soaked in water, but I didn't have the time to do that. So we do with what we can, guys. But yeah, like I said, it really is a sad truth that it costs money to get healthy. I mean, but all the money I spent pretty much these days is on my health. So I buy organic, good food. I don't buy garbage food, you know? I don't even do it. So that saves me money right there. Let me grab some blueberries. Yeah, I mean, when you stop, you know, it's funny. I mean, for me, it's odd because I've seen a lot of people spend money on all the wrong things while their health is suffering, and then say that they can't afford certain things. I've seen it a lot. And hey, you know, maybe people don't either know how to manage their money or they don't realize that they're doing it. I don't know what it is. I mean, to me, it doesn't seem very complicated. Like when I'm at the store, like even people in my family who will talk about how expensive it is maybe to buy healthy food. And I'm like, well, why are you buying, you know, Doritos or whatever? You know, they just do it. And I just don't bring anything into the house. That's my rule. Don't bring anything into the house that should not be going into my body. That's all there is. That's literally how easy it is. If there's a bag of Doritos, don't even buy it. Even if it's free. They could literally have a coupon there and be like, it's free. I don't even bring it into the house. Because otherwise, I'll eat it. And I know that I'll eat it. So, that's one of the rules that I have. Make my life a little easier. Because don't think you won't be craving it. I'm going to get them, you know what? Man, I want more blueberries. But I got to go downstairs to get them. I guess we'll go without them. I'm going to put walnuts. Walnuts have good fats, good proteins, minerals, fibers, antioxidants, but more than anything that I've seen is that it's anti-cancerous and even potentially anti-parasitic, a lot of this stuff. Okay, let me get my scissors. Hold on a second. Okay, let's see here. You know what? Let's put a little hydrogen water in here actually, because I'm gonna add some of these chia seeds. And then we're gonna make some. If you guys wanna see how to make them, I guess I can make some. Okay, let's see. Marcus says, so you say the hydrogen machine is the #1 thing that helped you on your healing journey? Yes. And then Drummer says, hi H-Man. Happy Drummer. Oh yeah, hydrogen water is the one thing. I mean, I did a lot of changes in my life. Tried so many different machines and supplements and diets. I mean, I tried so many things, and I gotta say, it was so frustrating. And the amount of money was just ended up being such a waste. Such an absolute waste. You know, in my opinion, dare I say, all these health gurus or biohackers or whatever, I think a lot of them are not even, you know, doing quote-unquote things for the right reasons, personally. And a lot of their advice is terrible. I mean, really, truly terrible. There's so many of them promoting things that I know are bad. I mean, there's like literally no doubt in my mind. I already know. It's so surprising. Oh yeah, let me get, if you guys want to see how to make these chia seeds, so many, I mean, really good omegas, so proteins, fats, oils, and minerals, and fiber. And I'll show you how to make it right now. Because I'm going to make some for tomorrow. They have to be made a certain way too, by the way. Okay, let's see. Somebody says, Dramor says, Marcus, I have one as well, and I've been using it for a year. Hydrogen Man really helped me a lot. It's well worth every penny. And Adil says, what is the damn world? What is the damn world is a hydrogen machine? Okay, so Adil, a hydrogen machine, or otherwise known as a hydrogen generator, is a device that dissolves specific hydrogen, by the way, because we're going off of medical data. This is what people don't often know. It's actually something that is medically approved already in Japan. It's literally being used medically. It's a gas, so it's molecular hydrogen. That's the type of gas. Don't get it confused with other ones. People try to do that. Hold on. Actually, let me pour some little more hydrogen water in here. Hold on a second. And then we're going to shake it, which by no means we're going to lose some hydrogen, but that's just the way it is. So the machine, and there's a lot of machines out there, and you got to be really careful. I mean, really, I hate to say this, but like, there's so many garbage ones out there. They're not making hydrogen correctly, or they use cheap metal that appears to flake into the water, and using chemicals like lye to make them, which you don't need to do. Sodium hydroxide, it's silly for hydrogen consumption. And the machine will dissolve the hydrogen gas into the water, or it'll make a pure gas and that you can inhale. It does both. The one that I use, and it's extremely amazing for your health. Like, it literally changed my life. That's the whole reason I'm making this machine. So I don't know if that answers your question, Adil. In fact, if you want to see it, you can go to a website, the official company's website for the Best machine. I only show you guys what the Best is, okay? And none of it's driven by money. I've turned down so much money from so many companies that want me to promote their products. And I'll only show you what I personally use, and I research the heck out of things, especially hydrogen. But the website's called holyhydrogen.com if you want to check it out. Marcus says, bet I plan on buying it on the future. Yeah, I mean, you probably, I don't know. Dramer says, the molecular hydrogen, just like water, has H2O. Jamor says, we're just putting extra hydrogen in the water. Yeah, you're dissolving the gas. And don't trip out on the machine because the metal you use can leak into the way. I know the metal part's very important. Marcus says, would you say it's required to have the water distiller with the hydrogen machine, or can I just have hydrogen machine only? Well, Marcus, I honestly thought I just explained that. I said that there's things in water that could be the ones that are the culprits for making you sick. Like, I'll give you one example. There was a doctor, it's a funny story actually. This doctor, I won't even go into how we all met and everything, but basically I get in contact with this doctor and she's sick. And she's like, I need to get, actually it's funny, one of the first things she tells me is how amazing of a doctor she is. She goes, look, I'm a really good doctor. Hold on a second. Let's see here. She's like, I'm a really good doctor. I do so many amazing things for my patients, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, that's great. You know, I mean, really, that's great, but I don't need to know any of that. I don't agree with her methods at all, actually. Once I found out what her methods were, I'm like, that just gives you short-term results, and then in the long term, it just makes things worse. But anyway, I didn't want to argue with her, and she's just like, I really need to get my life back. I have some medical issues, which she kept telling me. She goes, I just can't seem to resolve them. And it just went round and round. She wanted definitely the hydrogen. She'd known about some about it, was kind of skeptical actually though. Had apparently used wrong hydrogen before. I'm telling you one thing, if you do hydrogen the wrong way, like this lady was actually getting sicker. So, and I've seen that. I've seen people get worse. There's actually a really good video out there I just stumbled upon where this guy, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted a link to it. This guy apparently is a chemical engineer, and he was making himself sick with the wrong hydrogen. And then he found actually my videos, and he tried the right hydrogen, and all the difference in the world. He ended up making his own video explaining his experiences. But anyway, so the point is that this doctor, I told her, I said, look, first we need to start with your clean water. And she goes, no, I already have a filter. I said, look, filters are not good enough. She goes, no, I have a Berkey or whatever. And I said, not good enough. She said, look, and she would get kind of stubborn. She'd be like, you know what? I'm just going to do the hydrogen, okay? And you can, like, quote unquote, leave me alone when it comes to the water. And I'm like, you know what? Why do people contact me, ask for my help, and then I tell them to help, and then they literally try to dismiss the very things that I'm telling them is going to help them. So it gets frustrating. After a while, it's like, okay, you know, it's like going to somebody who's going to help you lose weight and say, okay, we're going to have to exercise. Okay, so can I do this without exercising? Okay, right. So anyway, so this doctor gets the hydrogen machine. She starts using the hydrogen. It was probably within a month or two. Within a month or two, her hydrogen machine is doing something weird. I even took a picture of it. And let's see here. Let's see. Dramore says, water distiller is more important than the hydrogen machine. It's not that it's more important. This is what I'm trying to, I mean, I literally just went through a whole rant about this, guys. And I guess I'm going to repeat myself again. You have to eliminate the very things that might be potentially making you sick. There are so many things in our water. So many things. I mean, I have the lab reports. I've shown them to you guys. There's, I mean, just so much stuff that wreaks havoc on the body. The first thing is to stop bringing that stuff into the body. It's kind of like, again, it's like somebody who says, okay, I want to lose weight. Okay, great. Let's talk about exercise. Okay, but I'm going to continue to eat Twinkies all day long. It's like, well, you have to eliminate that. But it doesn't mean just by eliminating Twinkies, now you're magically going to lose weight. Now you have to do some exercise or make some changes in your lifestyle. You have to eliminate the garbage that's coming into the body. You just have to, and it's in water. Water's a secret. Then, if you want the healing to begin, then you need to bring in the healing molecule, which is, in my opinion, the hydrogen. I say my opinion, I mean, you know there's numerous studies on it. So that's why it's a combination. Marcus says, came in late. Cece says, thank you for sharing your knowledge and advice. It is invaluable. I mean, it's simple, isn't it simple? I feel like, do people not see it? Or am I just crazy here? So the simplest thing you can possibly do, and I actually saw it with some people that I actually personally know, and it was really wild. I didn't think there was, I'll give you an example. This particular person, I forgot to tell you the story about the doctor actually. I mean, basically the long story short of that doctor is the machine started showing something at the bottom of it. I took some pictures of it, and she thought something was wrong with her hydrogen machine. I contacted the company. They sent the pictures to the engineers in Japan, and they're just so helpful and such wonderful people. They ended up looking at everything. They said, you know what? It's not the machine. And I was skeptical. I was like, oh my gosh, they're having a problem with the machine and they're trying to say that it's not their machine. They said, it's actually the water she's using. And I was like, what, really? They said, yeah, the machine is reacting to something in the water that's not right. And again, long story short, turns out that it definitely was her machine. It was her water filter. I told her it wasn't doing enough. And there was something really nasty in her water that we didn't know about, she didn't know about. And it was having huge implications on her health. She ended up getting the carbon distiller. In the end, she ended up doing everything that I had suggested. And her medical issues went away. Voila, problem solved. You know, that easy. So, that's all I can say about that. All right, I think I'm forgetting something here. What am I missing? I'm gonna put a little more of these chia seeds in here because I feel like I didn't get enough in there. I love these chia seeds in there. Okay. More fiber, more minerals, more protein, more nutrients. Okay, next. I'm definitely missing something here. What am I missing? Maybe it's because the blueberries were kind of low. All right. So I don't know if this is answering your guys' questions, but that's a simple answer. I gotta say, you know, like even right now there's, I just find it so hilarious. There's a guy on the internet, they're calling him the #1 biohacker in the world. And I was kind of laughing about it because, gosh, I wouldn't even doubt if so many people have called me and I always help everybody. He is literally saying now exactly what I've been saying for a very long time. He's still missing a few points. But he's talking about nutritional deficiencies. That's the whole reason I invented this smoothie. And you know, the problem is that I don't have, like, as you can probably guys understand, I don't have any financial backing. So I don't pay for advertisements. I don't pay to anything really. That's why these videos are free, non-edited, nothing crazy fancy. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, but something as simple as a carbon distiller along with the hydrogen. Just that right there, I was going to tell you a story about a guy whose life had changed. And then, of course, if you can implement the smoothies, that's great. But this guy didn't. This particular guy, issues with blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes, arthritis, eye issues, you know, the cataracts and glaucoma, and a little bit of like dementia kind of stuff. And he did not want to change his lifestyle. He would eat, honestly, he'd just eat pretty much whatever. And he would eat all the wrong things. And I never liked saying this particular story because then people think they'll be able to do the same thing. And if you really want, you know, if you got serious problems, you need to get serious, you know. But he did the clean water, so he got the carbon distiller and the hydrogen. Those are the only things that he was willing to do. And boy, I tell you, all his issues went away. It was actually amazing. I couldn't believe that he could eat and drink and do all the things that he would do. And just that technique worked like amazingly well. I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't believe it. That's how powerful hydrogen and clean water is, by the way. Okay. Well, we're running low here on everything. we're almost done with breakfast. And if you guys have, let's see, questions, this is a good time to ask. Marcus says, what you think about other ways to heal the body like red light therapy and cold showers? Yeah, good luck, dude. Go ahead, try it. Spend the money and waste your time. I mean, look, I'm not saying that cold water therapy is not good. I know about cold water therapy, and it's great, but it's not going to solve serious medical issues, you know, in my opinion. You know, and how many people want to take cold showers anyway? You know, and it's not like I haven't done those methods. I've done those. I know what they are. Red light therapy is, honestly, it's just overrated. I mean, will it look, you have to understand that red light therapy has to do with oxidation. Most, when they're trying to heal the body, most healing modalities are actually oxidative methods. Red light therapy is one of them. The body is so over-oxidized, it's the reason that hydrogen works so good. You know, it's it appears to function as a selective antioxidant that penetrates really, really deep. Truth is, red light therapy would work so much better if you combined it with hydrogen in the first place. You know, like even the sun is, I mean, honestly, the sun's kind of like red light therapy. And the sun, I've seen some really amazing things with hydrogen in the sun. I was going to put some videos out because nobody's talking about it. There's nobody out there who knows anything about it. And I know once I put it out, I know what's going to happen. But so I probably won't mention it right now. All I'm going to say is, yeah, good luck with those. I'm not going to say there's no benefit. I've read about red light therapy. The problem is it goes back to everything. What equipment are you using? And there's always, you know, the equipment thing. Like every single time I research equipment, man, it's really involved to research it. Usually I find that most of the equipment out there is trash. And a lot of it obviously comes from China. I'm sure that China really, really wants to heal us. I'm sure that's really something, you know. Personally, I think the future of health is gases. You know, that's why hydrogen gas, ozone gas is a good one. But you have to have the balance of oxidation and anti-oxidation. And so, yeah, but you can go take cold showers, see what happens, let us know, you know. Go spend money on a red light therapy device and let us know, you know. But I've been down this road already, and I spent way too much money trying to figure it out. Way more than what it cost, the cost of doing it right would be. And I wish, I actually wish that there would have been a channel like mine. That's part of the reason I started the channel, is because it was literally like, man, why isn't there anybody who just gives you the straight answers, and somebody who's been through it, and all the stuff that I had to learn to get here. And so I just thought it'd be easier just do a channel, give the info, and that was pretty much the quote-unquote kind of purpose of all this. And it, you know what, and it's been very, very kind, you know, like as far as like people who've contacted me, like that lady with the TBI, the traumatic brain injury. She was so nice. I mean, she called me back and, you know, I mean, this is her claim. I wouldn't look at it this way, but she says that I saved her life, and that was very sweet. If anything saved her life, it was the hydrogen and clean water and the people who designed that machine that's really special. I mean, guys, millions of dollars went into developing that thing, you know. They make the best machine in the whole world, best machine in all of Japan. That says a lot. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I wish there was a simple answer that costs like $1. I really do. Okay, let's just see. I guess I'm missing a bunch of your comments. Marcus says, GSMF, I don't know what that means. Judy says, just liked and subscribed. Oh, thanks, Judy. Love this channel. Wow, thanks. Marcus says, yeah, just getting sun. It's the most simplest way to healing the body. Sorry to tell you, the sun is not gonna, it's not gonna heal your body from all sorts of stuff, but it is nice to be out in the sun. And you have to counteract a lot of the negative effects of the sun. And I found that hydrogen is actually amazing for that. But anyway, Adam Cook says, I believe in miracles, but understand we have to meet the healing force halfway. Therefore, my question is, can your modalities work on peripheral neuropathy? Yeah, actually, I worked with multiple people, but there was one guy who just had it so bad. He had to be on my protocol. He used to go. He actually had a lot of money, and he was going to like one of the #1 experts in regards to neuropathy, and that guy was doing nothing for him. And after a lot of that nonsense, he did eventually find me. He got on my protocols, and he was serious. He really got very serious, which was good. And it took a while though, because he had had his for, I mean, neuropathy is nasty, and you have to understand that nerves are one of the slowest things to regenerate in the body. And you have to also stop doing whatever it is that could potentially be causing you harm on top of it all, which I keep talking about. Just so you guys know, the majority of people's health issues are self-inflicted. That's what I've discovered. The majority of health products are garbage. The majority of health problems are self-inflicted. I hate to tell you all that, but that's what I've discovered. What I can tell you is it took a good year to year and a half of being serious. So there's not going to be a simple fix that I've ever seen. And I've looked everywhere. So, you know, I'm not saying that there's not something out there, but like I said, I've spent too much time and too much money on so many things, only to realize that some of the answers are kind of simple. And so the simple answer is, in my opinion, yes, you could really improve or get rid of those conditions. Do you have diabetes, by the way? That would be my first question. And in this guy's particular case, he kept saying he didn't have diabetes. He kept saying he was healthy as a horse. Everything's great. And I kept asking, and he kept denying. And then after, I don't remember how many months, he's like, I got diabetes. And I got it bad. He eventually went to the doctor because he kept saying, I haven't been to a doctor in almost 30 years. And I'm like, dude, just because you haven't been to the doctor doesn't mean you don't have a certain health condition. But some people are like that. I mean, I get it. People are stubborn. It's all good. Still love the people, all right? Still love the people. Okay, Marcus says, just want your insight on it. Already bought it. Just wanted to get your opinion. I don't know what you bought, but okay. All right, health guru. I'm not a health guru. I don't consider myself that. Adam says, thank you for your answering. I've got it bad, a rotten leg. It's more vascular. Yeah, if you have a rotten leg, I don't know what I have diabetes, but was an IV drug user. Oh, I see. Yeah, I had a friend who did a lot of that. And actually, he got on hydrogen and clean water too, and it helped him a ton. That was actually, boy, he used IV drugs for a long time. He was really, really screwed up. And boy, I'll tell you one thing though, he got his health back. Like he was doing great, actually. But yeah, I'm telling you, get all your nutrients. This is the purpose of this smoothie, guys. You got to get all the. Let me put some more hydrogen water in here. Because, I mean, do I have to? Look, people ask this all the time. Do I have to put hydrogen water in the smoothie? No, you don't have to. You can just put clean water. Like, then why do you put hydrogen water in the smoothie? Okay, I do it for 2 reasons. One, I got a ton of hydrogen. Why not? I got tons of it. I could just let it sit there, but for what purpose? I can use it. So I put it in there. That's the first reason. And the second reason, and just so you guys know, I just think this is like really important. You guys, people can complain all they want about health. It's actually not that expensive. A hydrogen generator that's super reliable. Most of them aren't, by the way. They burn out and everything. This one that I have just goes and goes and goes. They don't quit. And yeah, it's $2,500, but it makes the water and the gas, and it lasts almost forever. And then the carbon distiller with a discount goes like 500 and something bucks. You know, people spend that on a set of tires and wheels or whatever else, and you know, you just have to make some sacrifices in your life. Don't go out to dinner so often, or don't buy fancy things that you just want, like a big TV or whatever, you know. I don't buy any of that stuff. Okay, so let's see. Part Duke says, is the hydrogen pitcher made of plastic? So it's a high-grade polymer, actually, and it's a type of plastic, but I didn't realize either. I used to be very much against plastic. I didn't realize there's different types of grades, and the Japanese, so that was my first, I even asked the company, I'm like, how come you guys don't make it out of glass? They said it would get so heavy with the glass if you want to make it really high quality too. I didn't realize that glass can even be bad for you too. And then it would be so heavy, a lot of people just can't lift it. And the high grade polymer they use is literally designed for babies. In Japan, they're very strict about the way they treat babies and the kids and the way they feed them. If you've ever seen how they feed Japanese kids in schools, it's unbelievable. And so they use the same type of stuff that's even a higher grade, and it's designed to be able to withstand boiling water, which makes plastics potentially even more dangerous. And it can easily do that safely. So it's all approved and approved by their government, which is much stricter than, for example, ours. And on top of it all, you're not even putting boiling water in it. So it's even, quote unquote, even better on top of that. It's like over engineered. And I've been getting blood work and I haven't had any issues with it. So many other people on top of that. And I'm really big on not exposing myself to microplastics. And the number one source of microplastics, guys, water. That's why carbon distiller, it will eliminate all these microplastics, and they're just everywhere these days, and they screw you up hormonally and yada, yada, yada. And hydrogen in the clean water, I believe, will just basically help you out a lot in regards to overcoming these microplastic issues. Okay, Adam Cook says, yep, vascular damage. Yeah, I told you what I would do. Okay, let's see if this thing will blend. I really shoved some stuff in there, so sometimes we don't know if the blender will just get stuck and burn out. And I got 3 magic ingredients that's gonna take this to a whole other level as far as your health. So I'm gonna show you that in a second. Okay, let's just read Marcus's comment again. And I didn't tell you why I had hydrogen water in there just yet. Marcus says, when you clean your fruits and blend them with the water, doesn't the pesticides that come off the fruit go back in the distilled water? Simple answer is no, and I don't even know exactly what you're talking about. Because if I take a vegetable, and this is already, they did a study on this. If you take a vegetable, now mine are organic, but they took non-organic vegetables in the study, and they would literally test them for pesticides. And then when you wash them, they would rub them with their hand, which is what I do. I rub them really hard with my hand when I'm washing the vegetables. And then I try to shake off as much of the water as possible. And then when I do that, when they tested them again, almost 80% of the pesticide was actually coming off. And then on top of that, I do organic. So I'm not exactly sure about your comment, but we'll get to more comments in a second. I'm gonna get this going, show you guys the magic ingredients, and then I'll answer more questions. Okay, let's see if it'll blend. Remember, guys, I keep telling you, I hate to sound like a broken record here, it's always best to get your nutrients from food. Why? Because the data, remember, I'm data driven, okay? So the scientific fact is the body responds best to food. There's one nutrient that it's just almost impossible basically to get it from your food. You can get it from some foods, though the problem is a lot of those foods are not only polluted, but you won't get the proper levels that you really need, in my opinion. And so even with all my super powders, there's still not enough of this nutrient. I'm going to show you how to do this. And that one magic nutrient that you just can't get in food is this one right here in my hand, and that's vitamin D3 with K2 in its ionic form. I like this company too. They're the only ones that I've ever found that do it in its ionic form. And so I always add that with the smoothie, and it works in collaboration. I've had my levels tested, and in there just perfect. Telling you, it's like I've been trying to trick the body by combining things with food. I even put minerals in these. I don't know if you saw the mineral powder I put in at the beginning, because the minerals work with the fibers. And then I've been doing that already, and then finally a study came out that actually proved that I was right. The study was shocked. They had people, their bones were rebuilding, but it does more than that. But that's all that they discovered. That wasn't what they were trying to do. So then what I do, because my levels are where they're at, I only use a certain amount. I'm only putting about 3,000 IUs in there. This is the next ingredient. I got 2 more ingredients to show you that are, in my opinion, life-changing for health, because I can make all this, but there's a few ingredients that really bring it home. This one I really like. You don't have to do this one. This is the most well-balanced protein in the world. Omegas 3s and 6s, and on top of it all the nutrients, all the minerals, and there's only one ingredient. It's just hemp seed. That's all it is. This stuff is so nutritious and it tastes so good. It is a little spendy, but again, I don't tend to put a price on my health. I just don't, because I've suffered so much from health issues. It'll ruin your life, you know? So, and thank God, you know, it's not like this bag is $100 or anything. It's expensive, but I can afford it. I mean, kinda, you know, so that's what I do. Okay, last ingredient. Okay, I wanna try this already. I'm gonna move the camera here. I'm trying to do everything with one hand. Oh yeah, that tastes really good. Missed that. Wow, so delicious. So delicious. Okay. Let's see here, I'm gonna try to get it set up here. Answer some of your guys' questions and show you the last ingredient. Blood circulation is key too, by the way. Okay. Let's see here. Marcus says, Adam, do you salivate into smoothies to aid the digestion process? Do I salivate? Yeah, I think I do salivate. I mean, one of the reasons I put the hemp hearts on top of it is so I can chew and get my saliva going, my digestive going. Okay, now I'm gonna inhale. This is actually the last key ingredient. Inhaling the hydrogen gas. So, literally, I'm gonna inhale the hydrogen gas as I'm eating. And in my personal opinion, it takes things to a whole other level here. My camera's all crooked. I got a cheap tripod. I don't spend money on tripods. Marcus says, organic in the US is not 100% pesticide free. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But I understand you though, get organic as well. Yeah, I know that they're not 100% pesticide free. You can find pesticides in everything. In fact, you'll find pesticides in tap water, a lot of them. And so what I'm trying to do is minimize my consumption of them. There was a study done, should have seen it, it was really good. They took a whole family. They didn't believe in organic food. And they tested their urine, by the way. In the urine, they had the father, the mother, and the kids. Everybody had pesticides in their urine. Pretty high levels too. Body's trying to kick it out. And it messes with your kidneys. I'll go into that if somebody wants to remind me later. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up. Wow, I just realized there's 10 of them. Thank you. That's very nice of people. So, notice I'm chewing as I'm drinking food that is perfectly blended and easy to digest. I mean, that's the key. The key is you want to get as much nutrients as possible with the least amount of quote unquote calories and least amount of struggle for the body. But anyway, to digest. So they went, the whole family went on organic food for like a month or two. They retested their urine. The father's charts went from like this to like super, super low. The mother was just about the same. And the kids were basically at zero. Their kidneys were processing everything out. So consuming a little bit, your body can deal with it, especially when you're drinking proper amounts of water. And that's why you want clean water. Proper amounts of fiber to flush it out. That's hence the smoothie. Massive amounts of fiber in this. Sweeping it out of your body. And then of course, hydrogen, in my opinion, not only helps it move out of the body easier and better, but hydrogen neutralizing the free radical damage that it could potentially be causing in the body, which in my opinion, it is causing, but you know, whatever. We use certain language because of, I need to be careful this day and age, which I understand. There's a lot of shenanigans out there anyway, but sorry, I'm plugging in my phone right now because it is not having enough juice. Wow, that barely reached. Okay, Elaine Carlton says, I just received my Holy Hydrogen machine. Do you have a beginner's playlist on your channel? You have so many videos. I just set mine up, literally live. If you go to the beginning of the video, you can see it. I also highly recommend, if you get a Hydrofix, I highly recommend watching video 426. I recommend getting video, or not getting it, but watching it. I would watch 426, 337, and 388. Parduke says your skin is glowing. Well, thank you. That's very nice. Adam says thank you. You're welcome. And Leah, thumbs up. Thanks, everybody. Okay, I'll probably be going soon. Sauerkraut says, by the way, I love sauerkraut. I eat it almost every day. Cabbage is so good for you guys. And fermented cabbage, look at the data. I'll even pull some up right now if you guys don't believe me. Okay, let's see. Sauerkraut says, how long did it take to cure your autoimmunity once you started your protocol? Once I get it perfected, autoimmunity, how long did that take? I would say it probably took about 1 or 2 years. And I had it really bad. I mean, it was nasty. I mean, I couldn't even lift up this cup. My joints hurt so bad I couldn't lift up a cup. Dog Poop Guy. That's a funny name. I don't know if that's his job, but okay. Dog Poop Guy says, please give me the cabbage data. Really? Okay. Somebody really wants to know about cabbage. I mean, this is, obviously anybody can research it themselves, but okay, let's see. You want fermented or non-fermented? Let's see. Sauerkraut says, oh no, Elaine says, I like to drink decaf coffee. Ooh. Following your protocol, can I still drink coffee? Yeah, you can still drink coffee. I drink coffee. Not all the time. Okay, here's my thing with coffee. First of all, my protocol has a lot to do with the rhythm of the day. So for example, if I wake up in the morning, first thing I do when I wake up, most people go pee. Ever since I've been on hydrogen, I got so much bladder control, it's ridiculous. It truly is ridiculous. And I'm not even the only one. There's so many people who reported the same thing, and people that I know personally, people in my family. So the bladder control gets out of, it's so crazy that you have so much of it. So when I wake up, the first thing I do for your health, and it's free, by the way, somebody wanted free stuff, Marcus, I think it was, grab a toothbrush, do not put toothpaste on it, just wet it, brush your teeth for like 20 seconds, it's like no big deal. Make sure to brush the inner surfaces of your mouth. So the inner lining of the cheeks, the roof of your mouth, and your tongue. There's bacteria that grows in our mouth while we're sleeping. The Japanese discovered this, that literally appear to cause cancer. Always want to clean your mouth first. Otherwise, when you drink coffee or even water or eat anything, you're inadvertently ingesting this stuff into your system. And I believe that that can also cause issues with the GI, things like autoimmune issues too, all sorts of stuff. That's just my opinion, right? Always clean your mouth first. I say no toothpaste because the very next thing after that, and this is part of my protocol, I always drink the hydrogen water first. Specific levels, made a specific way. So I have the cleanest water from my carbon distiller. That's from mypurewater.com. Discount code uprising144K. Then I do the hydrogen machine, which is from holyhydrogen.com. If you want the discount code, it's the name as a channel. So I drink that water a specific amount for me, because depending on your kidney health, depending on what pharmaceuticals you might be in, these are just things to consider. And then after that, then I go into my smoothies. Once my body's basically extremely well hydrated, then I would consider that cup of coffee. Coffee is one of the most heavily sprayed crops in existence, so I always am very strict about doing organic. And then I also like to grind my own. So I don't know if that answers your question, and don't drink too many cups a day. Okay, Sauerkraut says that's pretty fast actually given the context. Oh yeah, I've seen some of the craziest results within 1 month to 3 months to 6 months to 8 months to a year. And different people depending on their issues. But I mean, the things that I've literally seen are just mind-boggling to me. You know, it's just absolute craziness. Still can't believe the world doesn't know. But then again, no financial backing. Okay, Marcus says, you should look into immunotherapy. Why? I mean, I can, but I don't know why. If I'm doing just great. See, I already have something that works. You know, it's funny. I get a lot of people who are always trying to get me to change what I'm doing when I don't understand it, considering that what I'm doing has worked so well for me and others, and it's affordable and it's easy. But I mean, I guess I can look into more stuff, but I don't see why. I will say though, there is a, well, anyway. Aren't you the guy who's sick, Marcus? Okay. Jacob says, Jasco, can hydrogen water cure cancer? Well, first of all, I never use the word cure. That's the first thing I'll say. You can look at the research. The research, what I'll tell you is that hydrogen has a long list of things in regards to cancer. In fact, I wouldn't say, okay, I will not say something silly. And there's companies out there who make these claims and it's complete, in my opinion, complete stupidity. They'll say that their hydrogen, you know, made people's cancer go away within a few weeks or something. These are the type of lies that I've seen out there. And it's really frustrating because people believe it. And I actually know of a person who bought one of those machines from such companies. It actually accelerated her cancer and she died. And it was really sad. It even destroyed her kidneys while she was at it. And she didn't even have any kidney issues. And those are one of those machines that uses the lye or sodium hydroxide. It was horrible. It was actually very sad. Her poor husband, I ended up having to talk to that guy and he's like, we didn't know, you know? I'm such a skeptic of all this stuff out there these days, but the actual data on cancer, if you want to know the data, I can go over some of the data if you want. Let's see here. Because there is a doctor in Japan who is a neurosurgeon. He's an actual practicing MD. You'll never see him on a podcast or anything because he's always working. And he's an actual practicing doctor. He's not a chiropractor. He's not some guy selling 1 million products. In fact, he doesn't sell anything. He says that he is a hydrogen specialist, though, and says that the only machine he will recommend for his patients or use himself is the one that I'm actually using. He said it's safe. It makes the best hydrogen, proper levels, blah, blah, blah. He understands the whole thing even better than I do. And as far as the data, and he's been doing research on cancer, and he's using the hydrogen, and he says that he sees a lot of cancer markers improving. So there's a lot of improvement. As far as the benefits of hydrogen for cancer, one, it appears to reduce oxidative stress, protects DNA. You have to understand that cancer is a DNA mutation, so it's protecting it. Suppresses somatic mutations. So you're suppressing them, which is good, and it suppresses cancer cell growth. I've known people who had cancer who were able to prolong their life. So that's positive right there. But in my opinion, you have to do other things to really beat that cancer on top of the hydrogen. But hydrogen is a really good tool. Hydrogen has been shown to induce cancer cell death. That's important. Even suppressing the spread of cancer, which is the very thing that ends up killing you, is the metastasis of the cancer, not so much just having it. It actually has been shown, and I've seen it myself, it's been really impressive how hydrogen enhances how good some of the conventional treatments work. There was a woman, here's an interesting one. Here's a woman who doesn't take care of her health at all. Cancer super bad, breast cancer, was given about 3 months to live or less. She was an absolute wreck. And she didn't want to change anything in her lifestyle, didn't eat healthy, didn't exercise, drank too much, a lot of stuff, okay? And she got on this same exact type of hydrogen, the Lourdes Hydrofix Premium from holyhydrogen.com. And she did go to her doctors. They said, look, there's nothing we can really do for you. You're terminal, you're not gonna make it, but we can try some chemo. So I told her, do the hydrogen, do this protocol that I created. And she did the conventional treatment because she didn't want to change anything in her lifestyle. I'm not kidding you when I tell you that she was supposed to get all these rounds of chemo. She never got all of them. She only got half because by the time she was halfway done, all her doctors were blown away. Her cancer was gone. It was unbelievable. They just couldn't believe it. And she was only supposed to live about 3 months. And it's been like 7 years or something, and she's still alive. So, you know, hopefully that answers your question, Jacob. Adam says, again, many thanks. I hope you will be able to answer some of my questions soon. Didn't I just try to answer all of them? Congratulations to your recovery. Well, if you have any other questions, go ahead and ask, but I thought I answered all of them. Let me get some more hydrogen, or I'm sorry, smoothie. Well, I guess hydrogen smoothie technically. And then I'll answer the last of the questions. This was delicious. It is delicious. Then I gotta go. Because like most people, we're all busy. Dog poop guy says, how long have you been on the hydrogen water? Geez, many, many years. Now granted, throughout the years, I would use the wrong equipment because the best equipment wasn't available. And you know, the technology is so new. But on the really, really good stuff, which is what really made, like, for example, my heart condition go away. I had a heart condition that I supposedly needed surgery for. I think on the good stuff, let's see. I don't know, I would say about 7 years, actually. And that seems to be the magic number. I started getting some really crazy results about, I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, meaning like, I thought hydrogen had done everything for me that it could, and it was even starting to do more. So remember, your body has a 7-year cycle, so. Okay, Sauerkraut says, I'm actually reading the book Breath right now by James Nestor, and I think it would kind of blow your mind. I know about breath work. I know the science behind it. I think it's actually really interesting. And I actually think, and I've already done certain techniques where you do the breath work with the hydrogen, takes it to a whole other level. Elaine Carlton says, yes, that answers my question. I usually take a medication before I get out of bed, so it would be better to brush my teeth first then? In my opinion, yes. Absolutely. Marcus says, just made assumption of me, don't even know me, and I was changing what you do. You were changing what I do? I was giving you something you should look into because, gee, whatever is a hidden knowledge. Okay. Gotcha, thanks. Sauerkraut says, what does GCAL stand for? Okay. Or it wasn't. Okay. Adam Cook says, be well, everybody. Love and peace. Sounds good to me. Active macrophages to fight off viruses, blah, blah, blah. Sauerkraut, okay. Having a little internal dialogue there. Somebody wrote in Russian from Skydory. Where do you find your cancer protocol? You're not going to find it online. It's something that I usually have to do on a one-on-one basis, like a consult. It's very involved. Leah says, what do you mean with your body has a 7-year cycle? Okay, so your body, like the skin that you have is not the same skin you had 3 to 6 weeks ago. It has a cycle of death and regeneration. Your GI system dies and regenerates at a different rate. your nervous system, every part of your body, and your body's all brand new roughly every 7 years. That's the 7-year cycle. That's why when you try to implement health, you can't just implement it for a day or a week. It has to be a lifestyle, in my opinion, if you really want to change your life. Marcus says, you read slow. I said I wasn't changing what you do. Oh, okay. My bad. Marcus says, so quick to give a sarcastic answer like you know it all. Okay. Leah says, thank you. You're very welcome. All right, guys. I guess that's everybody's questions today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.